right, so we looked at these last week, but I just want to show you how it applies. Okay, so recognizing these is really important, and there is a little shortcut that we'll talk about, but I just want to show you, you can rewrite this as x squared plus 0x minus 25, so that it then has that same form and becomes a MAM problem, right? Totally works. We know we're going to have our two sets of parentheses, multiplying to get an x squared is an x times x. And then if we make our little t-chart, I want numbers that multiply to give me negative 25, but when I add them, they equal 0. And I know, because I'm multiplying to get a negative, that I'm going to have a positive and a negative. Okay? And because I have to add up to get a 0, they have to be the same number, right? It has to be a number minus itself to give you 0, which is why we focus on the square roots. That's why it's going to be a positive 5 and a negative 5. So if it makes more sense to you to expand it and still go through this same process, you always can. But if you recognize these, and they're called the difference of perfect squares, you can take a little bit of a shortcut and you can just set up your quadratic, right? Because the fact that it's a quadratic is the fact that that's a squared. We know it's going to be x and x, and since this is a minus sign, I know I'm going to have a plus and a minus, and then it's always just going to be whatever the square root of this number is, which in this case is going to be 7 and 7, and then you're just done. And remember, these are called conjugates. Okay, go ahead and impress those Algebra 2 teachers with that vocab word. All right? And then the last little example that we put here that I thought was really, really important was this one, because it looks so much like a conjugate. It looks like I should be able to make this xx plus minus, and then the square root of 100 is 10 and 10, but this does not work at all. Okay? And let's talk about why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because of this symbol. Because if this is a positive, I can't have a positive times a negative. It won't work out. And if I have a plus 10 and a plus 10, that adds to 20. So that's going to be x squared plus 20x plus 100. And same thing with a minus. So it will not work. None of this works. This is unfactorable. Sorry, I didn't fit that all in one line. Okay. So just keep in mind that does exist and that is a thing. So you're really looking for that symbol. There has to be a negative sign.